girl but vintage, and today's video is a story time. If you read the title, then you know that it's about the time I almost got married. Yes, almost got married. No, not to Shooter. So I'm gonna get into this story right quick. So it all started a couple years ago when my friend came to me and asked me if I wanted to make some money. And obviously I'm gonna say yes, because I don't turn down money. Like, well, okay, I do turn down money, depends on what it's for. But they came to me, they were like, I have a proposition. I was like, what is it? They were like, okay, there's a guy that needs his citizenship. Yeah. There's a guy that needs his citizenship, and I've been looking for a girl that will marry him. Everybody else has told me no, blah, 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 blah. So I said, how much money are we talking here? Because to get married to somebody, like, even if it is just for citizenship or whatever the case may be, like, that's a big deal. Like, I don't take marriage lightly or whatever, even if it's a fake marriage. But like, I wasn't sure about it, so I was just like, how much money are we talking? And so my friend told me $60,000. I said, come again, sir. What did you say? What was that number? 60 racks? And my ass was broke? Hell yes. Like, wait, of course I'm gonna say yes. Like, who in their right mind is gonna turn down 60 racks, right? Like, for something so easy. They made it sound very easy, at least. So I'm talking to my friend or whatever, and this is all through like text. I tell him to call me, he calls me, and he's just like, yeah, like, this guy, he's from Greece, he needs his citizenship because he worked at like this butcher shop, and I guess the owner of it was like a family owned butcher place, right? So the guy that was working there had his visa, but his visa was expiring, and so they wanted him to stay because that was like their only worker, so they needed him to get married to get his citizenship, blah blah blah. I think he already had been here for like a year or whatever, so they needed to either prolong his citizenship, which was expiring in like literally like 7 days from the time they asked me to when the actual wedding was supposed to be. We basically had like less than a week to get our lives and get our shit together, okay? Basically, we had to come up with a story on how we met and all this. So let me get into the first time meeting this guy. Keep in mind that the owner of the butcher shop was the one that was going to pay for this whole entire ordeal. Like, that's how much he loved his worker or his employee, that he wanted to pay for him to stay in Canada. So I meet up with my friend, we go to the butcher shop, and they bring me into this office, and it honestly felt like The Godfather. Like, I don't know why, but it just did. So they bring me into the office, I'm sitting there, I'm waiting to meet the guy, because the only person that's there is me, my friend, and the owner of the shop. So we're waiting for the guy. The guy comes, barely speaks any English, and he has the thickest accent ever. So even if we were to get married, and like, it wouldn't even be believable, because it would just be like, well, how the hell is this girl that don't speak no other language other than English, even though I kind of speak French, and this man that doesn't speak English at all, how are they having a relationship? Because if we can't communicate in English, how the fuck are we communicating at all? I was told my only job was to be the bride, okay? All I had to do was show up. That is exactly the words my friend said to me. All you have to do is show up to the wedding. And I was like, cool. Little did I know. Sitting in the office, they start talking or whatever, and then they start asking me how marriage works in Canada, and I'm just like, are you guys for real? I've never been married, I'm young as fuck. What are you asking me? You guys were supposed to organize everything, and I was just supposed to show up. And so this is where shit started to go left, okay? Shit was basically going left from the jump. So they didn't know what to do, so then it ended up falling into my lap. And basically I was thinking, I'm like, okay, the $60,000, the least I could do is put in a little work. So I was like, I did a little bit of research. I found out I had to get a license, a marriage license, and a marriage or register to get married, and get the license and whatever, and like tell them whose name's changing and blah blah blah. You have to do that at some freaking city hall building. So they had his citizenship application and all this, and they were giving it to me to look at, and I was like, we're not getting married for real. I never met this man ever in my life. I'm not doing the whole citizenship thing. Like, that's for him to deal with. But I will help with the wedding. So anyway, after the first meeting, or during the first meeting, we decided that we have to take photos. And we came up with the background story that I was shopping at the butcher shop. I was shopping at the butcher shop and he saw me and it was love at first sight. That was our story, okay? And so, mind you, this man was not attractive in the least, okay? Like, they told me that he was a young man from Greece. Young to them was not young to me. Like, when they said young, I thought he would have been like, you know, mid-20s. Maybe early 30s. This guy was probably like 35 to 40. Like, nigga now, like, it ain't going down like that. So yeah, he wasn't attractive at all, and he was fucking dumb. Like, he was actually an idiot. Like, I can't even. He was given very simple instructions, and the owner of the butcher shop would speak to him in his language. So he would speak to him in Greek and explain to him what needs to be done, and the guy would just keep freaking out and having spasms. Like, he definitely was a little unstable, like, you know, like, he was actually, oh my gosh. Anyway, we get through the meeting in the office. I'm given all my tasks. I have to call here and call there and organize everything. Basically, we were just gonna do like a city hall wedding. So in order to do that, you have to pay like, I think $200 and something to get the licensing and everything. And then you have to also book the chapel that is at the city hall if you're not gonna go get married in a church. And you have to book a minister. So we had to do all these things in less than 7 days. And I was just like, why would you guys wait till last minute to, one, look for a freaking bride, and two, fucking organize all the paperwork? Like, what? Are you guys out of your minds? Anyway, after the meeting, we go out into the butcher shop and basically take photos. We take pictures so that it looks like we've been we've been hanging out and we've been dating. So we took pictures inside the butcher shop, and then the next day I had to go to his house and take more pictures in different outfits. So I had to bring different outfits to make it seem like it was a different day. Like, it was honestly outrageous. It was ridiculous. Anyway, on the initial meeting, I should have stated that I wanted at least 50% of the money, which I was supposed to get. I think they told me $2,000 like up front, and then I would get the rest after the wedding. Like, on the day of the wedding, I would get the rest cold hard cash, okay? And so, and this was coming out of the man's business account. Like, this was coming out of the butcher shop's business account. The guy that I was supposed to marry was given instructions to call me, like, at any time during the night, like maybe around 9 o'clock, and to just leave our phones running so it seemed as though we've been talking on the phone till all hours of the night. Because for citizenship, you have to like prove that. You have to prove everything when it comes to citizenship. You have to show them bank statements, phone records, text messages. So we basically were trying to build like a fake relationship. He didn't do that. I wasn't gonna call him because I don't need a citizenship, my nigga. Like, I already got mine. Like, I don't even have a citizenship. I'm born Canadian citizen. So like, I ain't worried about nothing. It was him that needed it. I wasn't going to put forth the effort to call him, because at the end of the day, I was getting my check regardless. Like, even if the wedding didn't happen, I was still supposed to get my check. So like I said, they paid me up front. They gave me like a hello fee, okay? And I wish I had stated I wanted 50% on the first day. I wish I said that, because like I said, everything went left and it felt to shit, but I didn't say that, so you know, there was nothing I could do. Fast forward to after we take pictures at his house and all the different outfits to make it seem like it's different days and that I've been sleeping over and blah blah blah. I started trying to actually get everything, all the other paperwork done for the actual wedding, and book this place and stuff so that we could have this go flawlessly. So we met up, we went to the city hall place to get our licensing, and when we get to the counter, the lady's like, what's the date of the wedding? we both were silent because we didn't know what the fuck. Like, we didn't know what was going on. She's like, okay, what day are you planning on getting married? And I was just like, as soon as possible. She's like, well, most people already have a date in mind. They just come here to blah, 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 blah. It was at that point I realized that this is just not going to happen because we don't know what we're doing. Like, I didn't know so much goes into wedding planning. Like, where was J-Lo? I definitely needed her, but whatever. So we get to the counter to get our papers and to register. We had the money and everything to register or to get our marriage license, but then because we didn't have a date, we had to go. We were back at square one, so the girl couldn't really help us at the counter or at the registration place, and so we ended up leaving. He's throwing a fit, embarrassing me in public, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I don't think I can do this. Not to mention that I would have to be married to him up until he got his citizenship, and then they were going to pay for the divorce. So we leave the marriage licensing place and we go back to the butcher shop. The owner of the butcher shop is cursing out the freaking man. I don't know what he was saying to him, but he was speaking in Greek, and I just know that they were both just yelling at each other. And I was like, I never seen nobody and no employee yell at well, unless they was quitting, but like, I've never seen an employee yell at their boss that way, and I've never seen a boss yell at their employee that way. Like, it was insane. I felt so uncomfortable, but whatever. So it got to the point where the guy was just like, fuck this, fuck her, fuck that, blah, 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 blah. He's going back to Greece. And I said, excuse me, sir, I need my check, honey. Like, what you mean the wedding is off? Like, the wedding ain't off because I didn't say it's off. And y'all ain't paying me properly. So we're going to have to figure this one out. And so now me and the guy are basically beefing in the room. I can understand one fucking word he's saying. He can't understand one fucking word I'm saying. And then the owner of the place, he's like basically apologizing to me about everything, and I'm just like, okay, well, you guys, I've taken work off. Like, I've booked work off to deal with this for the last couple of days. That means that I've missed out on my fucking hourly pay. I missed out on my fucking commission. Like, what the fuck? So they basically said, well, how much money would you have made in the last couple of days? So I just made up a random number. I told them, and then they tried to tell me that well, not him, but the Greek guy, because it was coming out of his paycheck at this point, basically tried to say that's ridiculous. He doesn't owe me that much. And I said, are you fucking dumb? I make so much money on commission, so you need to get your life and give me my fucking check. And I was literally so pissed. Like, I was pissed to the point where I was like, I felt like it was my actual wedding falling to shit. Like, it felt like it was Grey's Anatomy. I was fucking McDreamy, and this nigga was Meredith running away yet again. Like, no, I was like, I ain't going down like that, because I was promised 60 racks. I need my 60 racks. Like, I have things to get, I have things to buy, I have bills to pay, and y'all wasted my time. Now I just want my money because you guys are wasting my time. Like, I don't even care about the wedding at this point. I just want my money. It was a big hullabaloo. Needless to say, I didn't get my 60 racks. Like, I definitely did not get 60 racks. I got paid $3,000 on top of the $2,000 that I already got paid, and that was basically it. Like, I was livid. The guy did not end up getting his citizenship. He got shipped, his ass got shipped back to Greece. Serve his ass right, because he's fucking rude. And I didn't get married, and I'm glad I didn't get married. I probably only now be getting divorced. Like, you know, things happen. So it could have been one of those things where I got married to him, and then all of a sudden I couldn't find him or something, and you know, then I can't even get divorced because I'm married to this guy. So I'm so thankful. I'm thankful that that shit didn't go through. Like, God, you work in mysterious ways. Like, you work in some mysterious ways, honey, because I wasn't supposed to get married to that man, and I knew it. But when you're broke, you do some outlandish shit, and so whatever. So that was me, okay? Young, stupid, and naive. And yeah, I mean, if the price is right, honey, but like 18 and broke, if somebody offers you $60,000, you gonna take it. Like, wait. Anyway, that is a story on how I almost got married. So I hope you guys liked it. Leave in the comment section below your thoughts on my crazy ass life, and I will definitely see you guys in the next one.